We're diving into something that is literally going to change the way you look at your calendar, your energy levels, and your daily habits. For so many of us, especially busy professionals, socializing feels like, an afterthought. It's that luxury we'll finally get to when the workday's over, when the inbox hits zero, and when we magically find some free time. But what if I told you that social health isn't just a nice to have? According to some incredible research from social scientist Kasley Killam, social health is an absolute biological requirement for a long, vibrant life. So today, we're treating this explainer as a strategic, operational guide to seamlessly integrate connection right into your demanding schedule.
But first, we really need to understand what we're up against here. 1,000. Get a load of this. Research shows that young people today are spending nearly 1,000 fewer hours per year with their friends than we did just 20 years ago. I mean, that is a staggering drop in human connection. We're currently living through what experts are calling a loneliness death toll. And here's the truly shocking part. This level of isolation is as physically devastating to your body and your longevity as smoking or obesity. It's a silent epidemic. But thankfully, there's a very clear scientific cure.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, the loneliness deficit. 2, diagnosing friendship styles. 3, the excuse versus need jar. 4, the 5-3-1 formula. And 5, daily interaction templates.
Part 1, the loneliness deficit. Time to assess the damage.
Before we can even think about fixing our social health, we have to honestly diagnose the reality of our current isolated baseline. Kasley Killam's research highlights a really startling statistic: 72%. That is the percentage of Americans who hang out with the people they care about 2, 1, or even 0 times a month. Think about that for a second. We often tell ourselves that by staying in, canceling plans, and just binge watching TV, we're protecting our peace. We wear our busyness as a badge of honor, right? But the reality is, this isolation isn't protecting us at all. It's actually making us emotionally malnourished.
Moving on to Part 2, diagnosing friendship styles. Let's find your social baseline.
To fix this emotional malnourishment, we need to do a bit of a personal audit. As busy professionals, you need to understand your own social networking tendencies so you can build a sustainable routine. The science actually categorizes us into 4 distinct friendship styles. First, we've got the butterfly, someone who naturally flits from group to group, totally energized by wide, varied social networks. Then there's the wallflower, someone who prefers the perimeter, thriving on quiet observation and needing a very specific, safe environment to open up. Next is the firefly, someone who lights up brightly in social situations, but only occasionally, usually because of an erratic schedule. And finally, the evergreen, a steady, deeply rooted style that maintains consistent, resilient bonds no matter the season. Identifying your style right now is the absolutely crucial first step to recognizing exactly what kind of social nourishment your specific personality needs.
Part 3, the excuse versus need jar. Time to reframe socializing.
Now that you know your style, we've got to confront the standard autopilot excuses we all use to isolate ourselves when the workday ends. On the left, we have the excuse jar. This is where we throw phrases like, I'm just too tired after work, or I have literally nothing to wear, or I'll just see them next week. And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast with the need jar on the right, because biological truth tells us that unless you're in a state of clinical medical burnout, socializing is the exact antidote to exhaustion. Being with people actively buffers the cortisol in your body. It quells your stress response. We think socializing drains our battery, but biologically, it's what plugs us back into the wall.
Which brings us to Part 4, the 5-3-1 formula, your new social operating system.
So how do we actually pull this off without getting totally overwhelmed? Well, consider this, your new social operating system. It's a tactical, highly specific framework designed to tone those social muscles without causing schedule burnout. Let's break it down, starting with the first tier, the number 5. This represents your goal to interact with 5 different people every single week.
You might be wondering, why 5? Because this tier is all about stretching your social muscles. We are biologically healthier when we have diverse ties in our lives. This means stepping way outside your immediate, comfortable bubble. We're not just talking about your spouse or your roommate. We're talking about connecting with coworkers, chatting with your neighbors, engaging with people who are different from you. It's about building a wide, resilient net of human contact.
Next up in the formula is the number 3. This means keeping at least 3 close core relationships actively alive. These are your true evergreen connections. The people you can call when you're having a terrible day, when life gets messy, or when you just really need to vent.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we shift from vague promises to actual scheduling habits. To maintain these 3 bonds as a busy professional, you have to put connection on autopilot. We have to stop relying on empty promises like, hey, we should really grab coffee sometime. Let's be real, that coffee never happens. Instead, treat these 3 relationships with the same exact respect you give your most important business meetings. Send a recurring calendar invite for, say, the first Thursday of every month. By doing this, you take the exhausting logistics out of the equation, giving the actual friendship the space it needs to just breathe and grow.
Finally, we reach the last number of the formula, the number 1. This is the mandate to spend 1 hour a day connecting. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. As a busy professional, finding a solid, uninterrupted 60-minute block of time feels impossible. But don't panic. This is a cumulative daily metric, not a single block of time.
And that leads perfectly into part 5, daily interaction templates, micro-habits for busy schedules.
So the crucial point is how we seamlessly hit that 1-hour daily quota. It's all about actionable micro-habits. These micro-moments add up to life-saving social health. It's the 2-minute chat with the barista where you actually ask how their morning is going. It's the 10-minute phone call during your commute. And yeah, that might even mean pausing an explainer like this one to hear a friend's voice instead. It's 20 minutes of genuine, screens-down eye contact with your partner over dinner. And here's a real game changer for the workday. When a Zoom meeting ends 5 minutes early, don't just immediately open another tab or scroll through social media. Use those 5 minutes to text a friend. Go for connection first.
Now, I know a major barrier here is the fear of looking cringy or desperate by being the one who always reaches out first. We all have that little voice in our head saying, ugh, I'm bothering them. But the data proves the exact opposite. Research unequivocally shows that people like us more than we think they do, and they appreciate hearing from us way more than we realize. Taking the initiative isn't annoying. It is an overwhelming gift to the person on the receiving end.
One text, one dinner, or one hobby group doesn't just fill your calendar. It can literally save your life. You aren't just busy. You are human, and you need your people to thrive. So I want to leave you with a direct challenge right now to kickstart your newly connected life. Who will you text right now? Seriously, don't wait for the perfect moment. Pick up your phone, think of one person who brings you joy, and send them a message. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I can't wait to guide you through our next topic.